So pretty much we've got the final goalkeepers available. Other than the potential transfer for Donnarumma, these are going to be the keepers that finish the game dead. So we're going to go over who would I choose to go in net. Who is the top meta? Who is the usable? Who is just an unfortunate miss? Now we do only have 199 that we will get to, but if I was already picking somebody on a top caliber in this, I think there's a few options that you can go with. There's some very much brilliant options, and I must admit we did a video on the top meta players. A lot of these goalkeepers would feature because a lot of them are some of the top goalkeepers you can get. So if you're looking for coins, check in the description for El Dorado. Depending on the coin amount that you're looking for, the delivery time is displayed on the website, and you'll see lots of different trusted sellers with reviews on specifics and also the ability to be able to pick who you want. It will also show how much they have in stock, and obviously you can see that they are verified members. There is 100% refund ability and also 24/7 support if you need any questions with your coin needs. Also, if you head over to Trustpilot as well, you can see over 30,000 upvotes for them. You can see how reliable they are. Obviously great feedback across the entire board with El Dorado. So when on checkout, make sure you are using the code JT11 for 5% off your order every time. Discount code JT11. Now let's get back to the video. Now we'll start off for someone like Buffon. I think the biggest thing when it comes to a goalkeeper and what you personally want all depends on their playstyle pluses. It depends really on their height more so than anything, as everything else is relatively the same. Stats wise, you'll see 90s across the board. When it comes to skill moves, a lot of them are 5-5, which does it make much of a difference? It all depends on yourself. So really the main thing that we've got is the playstyle pluses. Now most of the keepers, if they've got a quadruple, they will end up with 3 of the actual goalkeeping ones and 1 outfield one. So a passing, a long ball, something across them lines, that's normally what you get. Now when it comes to the goalkeeping ones, you've got deflector, far reach, rush out, cross claimer, footwork and far throw. Now personally for me, rush out is a big one. That for me is one of the best ones, purely on the fact that I think it comes down to kind of my defensive style. If a ball's kind of lobbed through, it's gone for a random through ball and they look like they're beaten, the rush out normally really stops that. So that would be kind of one of my biggest ones. I like the far reach, I like the deflector, the cross claimer as well. To be honest though, not many people throw the cross in nowadays. Most people will take it short, as we know we can't score any headers. So based across that, I think Buffon would go into more of my very usable. When we look at someone like an Alisson, another great example of a goalkeeper that is well worth having a look at. And I must admit, these are the goalkeepers that you probably will choose no matter what. We have got the 2 playstyle plus for goalkeeping: footwork, cross claimer, pinged pass and long ball. Now if you kind of stripped it back and look at Alisson for kind of the goalkeeper in himself, again, another absolutely fantastic one. Most of these are end goalkeepers, like they are the top of the top, and it comes down to a personal preference. Now a personal preference of mine, if you was to throw him there, is going to be our boy Van der Sar. He's always been one of my favourite goalkeepers. He's got the rush out, the cross claimer, the deflector and a long ball. To be honest, as long as they've got the rush out, that's kind of like a number 1 for me. And then it goes down to just how they defend. Like there is another one who would personally be in my personal top meta that doesn't have the rush out but still saves it with a lot of his actual just saving ability. So I think Van der Sar would be one of them that I would go into that absolute top meta. Now if we look at the only 99 in this list, Hannah Hampton had a wonderful tournament in the Euros. She was exceptional for the level of pressure. Absolutely brilliant. Now, in terms of a goalkeeper, this is where it gets a bit unfortunate for the game. I personally can't do with smaller goalkeepers, and that is unfortunately where the female goalkeepers just don't really do too well in my opinion. Now, yes, you could still go with her just to have that full 11.99 rated team. That's fair enough. You are not going to get, or at least unless we get Donnarumma on a move, I don't know any other keepers that will fulfill that pre-season 99 goalkeeper. I know before we've had obviously like the... wasn't Ramsdale, was it Butland? We've had a few goalkeepers over the years that have kind of come in and they've made that change and given us a 99. But at the minute, I don't know who would actually be that 99. And with the fact that they've given us all of the top goalkeepers already, like we've got Courtois, got Alisson, Really, the only one left at this point is going to be someone like Ederson. But what would be the reason for the 99 now? As we're going into the preseason, it wouldn't make any sense. So we pretty much have got the only 99 here. Now, yes, I do think she could still be slightly usable to many. And it all goes down to what you personally like as a goalkeeper. For me, unfortunately, she would be a miss. It's one of them things that I think even as a 99, I don't think it matters that much that it really, like, you could do it with the same as last year when we had the shapeshifter in net. Who was it? No, it's not coming to me. There was a goalkeeper, a shapeshifter goalkeeper, and honestly, you might as well have not had a goalkeeper in net. They just got lobbed from everywhere. They just got passed round. They just got shot from everywhere. And Hampton is going to be the same, unfortunately. If she maybe had the rush out, I could have possibly gone a bit more, because I think then she could have at least pulled the kind of weight of going forward, at least when it comes to catching them through balls. But unfortunately, she just isn't going to be my personal preference. Another one that would be is going to be De Gea. He is the one without the rush out that I do think, since his team of the season, it's just kind of like reintroduced him to the masses. He's absolutely brilliant in that. And if you've kind of remembered De Gea from previous games, he has always been sensational. It's only been since he was kind of left out in FIFA 24 or FC 24 that we kind of forgot about him. And now he's got his team of the season, then into the footies. Absolutely brilliant goalkeeper. He's one of the best ones I personally prefer now. Again, he might be a little bit biased, but that's where I think everybody could float their ideas for him. Then if we're kind of going down Dudek sort of level, I think Sava and Dudek would be kind of more into my usable sort of category. I don't think they'd go too much more than that. I think Vicario would be around the same, even though I do think he's a very, very good goalkeeper in himself. We do have a few more of them, but I think Jorgensen and obviously Donnarumma's in it. Jorgensen just wasn't on my kind of radar, unfortunately. I think he might have been potentially in that kind of miss, so we kind of missed him out of this, really. Then we have Konate. Now, I know there is a lot of split opinion on him. Now, he's obviously got more votes up than he does down, which is just a general consensus. If you're looking at what the masses think, this is always a good place to go, as well as then looking on kind of like Twitter, seeing if people use him. I normally go on the votes of looking at champs, looking at rivals teams, and seeing how many people am actually coming up against him. Is it going to be a Van der Sar? Is it a Buffon? Is it still like an Evo somebody? I know goalkeeper, I'm talking about the general population. And I do think Konate's got a bit about him. I personally don't really rate him that much in the game. I think as a shapeshifter, he was decent enough, but he was no Milinkovic-Savic. He was no kind of check up front. He was just a very standard keeper. So for me personally, I would go usable. For the masses, I have seen a lot of people do recommend him, so the most I could give him is very usable. I don't think he is top in my opinion. Again, leave down below who your keeper is, who you recommend, because there is going to be options left, right and centre. I think Donnarumma still puts himself absolutely up there. He is one of the best goalkeepers from gold, same as Courtois. They are the easiest ones to get. They stick in the team and they stay for ages. It's normally Donnarumma, Alisson, Ederson was always a good shout. Courtois, most definitely. They were the goalkeepers that you get at the start and they stay till team of the year. Unless we get a crazy upgrade on a goalkeeper, they are the ones that normally stay. And unfortunately for Donnarumma, he didn't quite get a footies, but he did get a 96 at the absolute minimum. Then we move on to Peter Schmeichel. He's coming in with the 97. Another very good goalkeeper in himself. Unfortunately for him, he's always a bit lower on the case. I think maybe you could go with Czech as the 99. I know we got a 94, but that's a cam version. We haven't really seen too much about him, to be honest. So it's always an interesting one because we have him and we also have Tim Howard that didn't have anything from fantasy. So there's a potential that there could be an upgrade somebody. I think Schmeichel would be more in my usable category. And then we finish off with Courtois. Now I give him a glowing review and he most definitely would be my final goalkeeper in that top meta. He's personally under Van der Sar, one of my favourites when it comes to a non-icon or hero goalkeeper, and he absolutely is in deserving of this spot. I think for me, it would go in that sort of order. I'd probably be looking, going something like that. I'd go probably Sava at the back. Yeah, I'd probably go there and I'd probably go Schmeichel. That would kind of be my list in the order as well. I do think De Gea is very interchangeable. He's kind of a preference of mine personally, but I do think he is a wonderful, wonderful goalkeeper. And that's going to be the list for today. Make sure you like and subscribe. Hopefully we do see what comes out on Friday, and I'll catch you all for that next one. Peace.